Does your hand automatically reach for the fridge the second stress hits? If so, you know the feeling. You are definitely not alone. But what if I told you that the habit of emotional eating isn't actually your fault? Instead, it's a chemical trap your own brain sets for you during tough times. In this video, we're going to dive into why we are so irresistibly drawn to sugar and fat when stressed. I'll then reveal 5 surprising foods that can genuinely help you calm down without the subsequent guilt or damage to your waistline. Make sure you stick around until the end, because the 5th item on our list will not only soothe your nerves, but also significantly boost your brain function. I guarantee you'll be surprised. Before we get to these calming solutions, let's quickly understand what's actually going on inside our bodies. When we experience stress, our adrenal glands start actively pumping out the hormone cortisol. It's often referred to as the stress hormone. Historically, this hormone was essential to mobilize all our energy for the fight-or-flight response. And for that, we needed fast energy. The brain sends a signal. Immediate fuel is needed. Get the most caloric thing available. This is precisely why we crave cake, chips, and pizza. When we consume something sweet or fatty, we get a quick spike in dopamine, the pleasure hormone. We feel momentarily better, and the brain registers, aha, this method works. This creates a vicious cycle, stress leading to unhealthy food, followed by temporary relief, which then causes guilt and even more stress. Our goal today is to break that cycle by giving your brain the healthy fuel it's actually looking for, genuine calmness and a sense of security. Let's kick things off with a food many people treat like the ultimate forbidden fruit, the thing that instantly triggers guilt. We're talking about dark chocolate. Yes, you heard that right. But before you rush out to the store to grab that giant milk chocolate bar loaded with nuts and caramel, let's get into the specifics. We are talking exclusively about high-quality dark chocolate, where the cocoa content is at least 70%, and ideally 85% or higher. Historically, ancient civilizations like the Mayans and Aztecs valued cacao like gold. They used it in rituals and as medicine, not as a dessert. This is precisely the mindset we need to revive. We need to stop viewing chocolate as just a guilty pleasure and start recognizing it as a concentrated source of powerful nutrients. In the coming segments, we'll dive deeper into the specific components that make it an ally in our battle against stress. We'll also explain why milk chocolate sadly doesn't qualify, remaining little more than sugar and fat. Dark chocolate's main secret is its high concentration of flavonoids, particularly epicatechin. These are incredibly powerful antioxidants. Let's visualize stress on our body as rust on metal. It causes what's known as oxidative stress, which actively damages our cells. Flavonoids, in this analogy, act as the ultimate anti-corrosion coating. They immediately neutralize harmful free radicals, shielding your cells from damage. But the benefits don't stop there. Scientific research published in the Journal of Proteome Research demonstrated that individuals who consumed 40 grams of dark chocolate daily for just 2 weeks saw a significant drop in cortisol and catecholamine levels, the body's key stress hormones. Flavonoids also play a role in promoting the production of nitric oxide. This results in vasodilation, or the widening of blood vessels, which subsequently lowers blood pressure, a condition frequently exacerbated by stress. In summary, dark chocolate works on multiple fronts, providing benefits at both the chemical and physiological levels. Beyond the flavonoids, dark chocolate stands out as one of the best dietary sources of magnesium. Magnesium is often dubbed the calmness mineral or nature's relaxant. A deficiency in the body is directly linked to increased anxiety, irritability, muscle cramping, and poor quality sleep. During times of stress, your magnesium reserves are rapidly depleted, making replenishment critically important. Just 30 to 40 grams of dark chocolate can cover 15 to 20% of your recommended daily intake of this mineral. Yet another interesting component is theobromine. This is an alkaloid similar in action to caffeine, but significantly milder. It provides a gentle lift, improving mood and concentration, without causing the overstimulation and anxiety that often follows a strong cup of coffee. This is precisely why a small piece of dark chocolate during the day can help you collect your thoughts without winding up your nervous system. The key rule to remember is this: the higher the cocoa percentage, the greater the health benefits, and the lower the sugar content. Milk chocolate simply won't cut it. And finally, let's touch upon the psychology of consumption. When we are stressed and mindlessly scarf down an entire bar of chocolate in front of the TV, we actually miss out on most of the pleasure and benefit. The key is to transform this simple act into a mindful ritual, a form of meditation. Instead of just gulping it down without chewing, try this practice. Take just 1 or 2 squares. First, simply look at them. Notice the glossy surface. Break off a piece and listen for that characteristic crisp, dry snap. That's often a hallmark of quality. Inhale the aroma deeply. Try to differentiate the various flavor notes, perhaps the fruity, the nutty, or the earthy undertones. Only then should you place the piece on your tongue. Don't chew it. Instead, allow it to melt slowly. Focus entirely on how its complex, bittersweet flavor unfolds as it dissolves. This entire process takes maybe 5 minutes, but it completely redirects your attention away from anxious thoughts and grounds you firmly in the present moment. This is mindfulness in action, and mindfulness itself is one of the most powerful tools we have against stress. You are not just eating. You are practicing self-care. The next item on our anti-stress list: vibrant, juicy berries. Blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, and cranberries. Nature has truly gifted us a whole palette of flavors and nutritional power. You often hear the advice, eat the rainbow. And that's not just a pretty phrase. The vibrant color of fruits and vegetables usually signals a high concentration of antioxidants, and berries are truly the heavyweights here. As we mentioned earlier, when stress hits, it kicks off the process of oxidation, or rusting, inside your body. Thanks to their huge concentration of polyphenols and anthocyanins, berries act like a powerful cleanup crew, seeking out and neutralizing free radicals. Consider a handful of berries as your own personal shield, protecting your cells, especially your brain cells, from the destructive impact of chronic stress. This is a delicious and easy way to fortify your internal defenses without the extra empty calories that come with relying on pastries or candy. Let's focus specifically on one essential nutrient that berries are packed with: vitamin C. We usually think of it as just a common cold remedy, but its function in managing stress is absolutely critical. Our adrenal glands, the small glands that produce adrenaline and cortisol, house one of the highest concentrations of vitamin C anywhere in the body. During acute or chronic stress, these vital reserves are depleted at an astonishing rate. The body literally burns through vitamin C to cope with the demand. A deficiency in this vitamin leaves us feeling even more exhausted and worn out, making it harder to handle stress effectively. Studies conducted by German researchers showed that individuals who took vitamin C before a high-stress task, such as public speaking, maintained lower blood pressure and lower cortisol levels compared to the control group. Just 1 cup of strawberries or blueberries can meet your daily vitamin C requirement, helping your adrenals function efficiently and preventing burnout. Another often overlooked, yet crucial benefit of berries in the fight against stress is how they impact your blood sugar levels. Think about what happens when you stress eat a chocolate bar. First, you get that intense energy rush and mood boost. But just an hour later, you experience a sharp crash, apathy sets in, and you crave even more sugar. This is the classic sugar roller coaster, and it only worsens our emotional state. Berries, however, despite their natural sweetness, are packed with a significant amount of fiber. This fiber slows down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, providing a smooth, sustained energy lift without the dramatic subsequent crash. This helps you avoid those intense, almost ravenous hunger pangs and sharp mood swings. A stable blood sugar level is truly the foundation for a stable emotional outlook. That's why reaching for a handful of berries as a snack is a strategically sound decision. It helps you manage stress not just in the moment, but also in the long run, preventing future sugar cravings and relapses. Finally, let's look at the compounds responsible for those deep blue, red, and purple hues in berries. These are known as anthocyanins, but they are much more than just pigments. They are powerful bioactive compounds proven to positively impact brain function. Numerous studies connect the regular intake of anthocyanin-rich foods to improvements in cognitive function, memory, and even mood. Anthocyanins possess powerful neuroprotective properties, meaning they actively shield neurons from damage and inflammation, the kind often triggered by chronic stress. Essentially, when you add berries like blueberries or black currants to your diet, you're not just satisfying hunger or calming your nerves in the moment. You are making a long-term investment in your brain health, strengthening its resilience against future stressful events. You have to agree, that's a much more meaningful strategy than simply stress eating or comfort eating. You can enjoy berries fresh or frozen, as they retain almost all of their beneficial compounds when frozen. Try adding them to oatmeal or natural yogurt to create the perfect anti-stress breakfast or afternoon snack. Let's move on to something crunchy now. When we're under stress, we often crave that specific texture. The satisfying crunch of chips or crackers can subconsciously help us release tension. But we have a much healthier alternative: nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, cashews, pistachios, along with sunflower, pumpkin, chia, and flax seeds. These are truly concentrated capsules packed with vital nutrients for our nervous system. For years, nuts were demonized due to their high calorie count, and many people are still hesitant to eat them. but modern nutritional science has since rehabilitated them, proving that the fats they contain are the good kind. Monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are essential for optimal brain and heart health. Our brain is 60% fat, and for it to function correctly, it needs the right building blocks. Nuts and seeds provide these essential materials in abundance. Let's take a closer look at one of the key components we need: omega-3 fatty acids. They are especially abundant in foods like walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. These are essential fatty acids, meaning our body cannot produce them naturally. We must obtain them through our diet. Chronic stress is directly linked to systemic inflammation, including a specific type called neuroinflammation, inflammation within the brain tissue itself. This is now widely considered a key contributing factor in the development of depression and anxiety disorders. Omega-3s are renowned for their powerful anti-inflammatory capabilities. They essentially help to quench this internal fire by significantly reducing inflammatory markers. Consuming adequate omega-3s regularly can help stabilize your mood, sharpen concentration, and significantly boost your resilience to stress. It's no coincidence that the shape of a walnut so closely resembles the human brain. It's nature's own clear signal about its primary benefits for our cognitive health. Beyond the beneficial fats, nuts and seeds are a powerhouse of essential minerals, namely magnesium and zinc. We've previously discussed magnesium's role as the calmness mineral, and nuts, particularly almonds and cashews, are a fantastic source. Now let's pair it with zinc. This trace element plays a crucial role in regulating neurotransmitters, including the mood makers serotonin and dopamine. Zinc deficiency is frequently observed in individuals dealing with depression, and correcting this deficit can significantly boost their overall state. Pumpkin seeds, for instance, are one of the best plant-based sources available. So when you grab a handful of mixed nuts and seeds, you're not just consuming calories. You are providing your brain with a comprehensive toolbox: fats, magnesium, zinc, and B vitamins, essential for synthesizing those happiness molecules and maintaining rock-solid emotional stability. This isn't merely a snack. It's targeted, nutraceutical support for your entire nervous system. Let's talk about the most crucial rule when it comes to nuts: portion control. They are incredibly healthy, yes, but they are also extremely calorie-dense. And that's where the main trap lies. It's incredibly easy to get carried away and accidentally consume an entire bag of pistachios, hitting your whole day's calorie goal in one go. So, rule number 1, never eat nuts directly out of the bag or container. Measure out your serving and put the packaging away immediately. What exactly constitutes an adequate portion? We're talking about 20 to 30 grams, or just a small handful that fits comfortably in the palm of your hand. This amount is perfectly sufficient to reap all the health benefits without overloading your calorie count. Now for a psychological life hack. Opt for nuts in the shell, such as pistachios or peanuts. The simple act of shelling them slows down the speed at which you eat, prevents you from overdoing it, and actually becomes a mini-meditative activity. It helps you de-stress and calm down. This way, you satisfy both that urge for a satisfying crunch and the need for fine motor stimulation, which is a fantastic way to relieve nervous tension. Ready for a serious plot twist? Our sense of calm, our positive mood, and our ability to handle stress are directly linked to the health of our gut. Yes, you heard that right. Modern science is rapidly expanding its research into the so-called gut-brain axis, the bidirectional connection between our digestive system and our central nervous system. It's not for nothing that the gut is often dubbed our second brain. It houses over 100 million neurons and produces a massive amount of neurotransmitters that directly influence how we feel. This brings us to the fourth category of supportive foods we recommend: fermented products. This includes natural unsweetened yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and fermented tea, or kombucha. They all share one crucial thing. They contain probiotics, the live beneficial bacteria that restore and revitalize our gut flora. How exactly do the tiny bacteria in our gut manage to influence our stress levels? It all comes down to the fact that they are essentially chemical factories. These microorganisms are involved in synthesizing a host of crucial substances. For instance, nearly 95% of all serotonin, our primary happiness hormone, is produced right there in the gut. Thanks to these beneficial bacteria, if the gut flora is imbalanced, serotonin production suffers, which directly leads to a dip in mood and lower stress resilience. Additionally, probiotics help in the production of GABA, or gamma-aminobutyric acid. This is the primary inhibitory neurotransmitter for our nervous system. Its job is to calm down overexcited neurons, effectively lowering anxiety and promoting relaxation. So, when you consume kefir or natural yogurt, you aren't just eating. You're actually stocking your gut with an army of tiny helpers who work tirelessly to maintain your peace of mind from the inside out. Let's revisit the link between stress and inflammation. An unhealthy gut microbiome, dominated by pathogenic bacteria, can lead to a condition known as increased intestinal permeability, commonly referred to as leaky gut syndrome. This means the gut lining becomes overly porous, allowing toxins and undigested food particles to leak into the bloodstream. This triggers a chronic immune response and systemic inflammation throughout the body. This constant state of inflammation signals danger to the brain, keeping it in a state of hypervigilance or fight or flight, which ultimately exhausts the nervous system's resources. Probiotics, often sourced from fermented foods, help restore the integrity of the intestinal barrier, reducing these leaks and subsequently lowering overall inflammation levels. Furthermore, human studies indicate that regular probiotic consumption can lead to lower blood cortisol levels and a significant reduction in the subjective feeling of stress and anxiety. So how do you actually incorporate fermented foods into your diet? It's much easier than you think. The most important rule is to choose products with no added sugar. Sweet, fruit-flavored yogurts are a dessert, not a health remedy. Instead, grab natural Greek yogurt or plain kefir and simply add a handful of the berries we discussed earlier. That makes for the perfect stress-busting combo. Sauerkraut makes a fantastic side dish for meat or poultry. Just make sure you select the kind that's prepared via natural fermentation, not the kind that uses vinegar. Korean kimchi is great added to scrambled eggs or rice. and kombucha is a wonderful alternative to sugary sodas. Start with small portions to give your digestive system time to adjust. A glass of kefir before bed, or a couple of spoons of sauerkraut at lunch, is a simple, highly effective step toward better mental and physical health. By taking care of your second brain, you are directly supporting your first. Our fifth essential helper, and one that is often vastly underrated. It's not food in the traditional sense. It's a beverage. We are talking about herbal teas. When we feel stressed or anxious, we often crave something warm and comforting, but our habits usually lead us straight to coffee or black tea. Now, the caffeine in those drinks might be great for an early morning boost, but when you're already feeling stressed, it often just makes things worse. It can ramp up your heart rate and fuel even more anxiety. Herbal teas, on the other hand, are naturally caffeine-free and come loaded with soothing properties. A simple cup of hot aromatic infusion is an act of self-care in itself. It forces you to slow down, shift your focus, and provides a calming warmth. They're the perfect replacement for mindlessly grabbing snacks or cookies while sitting in front of a screen. Instead of eating our stress, we can drink it away, but we do it in a way that truly benefits both mind and body. So, let's look at some of the most effective options available. The first, and certainly the most famous calming tea, is, of course, chamomile. It has been used for centuries to promote relaxation and better sleep, and modern science fully backs up these traditional claims. Chamomile's secret lies in an antioxidant called apigenin. This compound has a fascinating ability to bind to the benzodiazepine receptors in our brain. These are the exact same receptors targeted by some powerful prescription sedatives. Naturally, apigenin's effect is much milder and non-addictive, but the underlying mechanism is similar. It helps reduce anxiety, relax the muscles, and encourages an easier onset of sleep. Another fantastic option is peppermint tea. Menthol, the active compound found in mint, is a natural muscle relaxant, or myorelaxant. It helps relieve muscle tension that often accompanies stress, especially those tight knots we get in the neck and shoulders. Furthermore, mint is excellent for a nervous stomach, soothing the spasms and discomfort that frequently accompany periods of worry or high stress. And here it is, the product I promised at the start, the one that doesn't just calm you down, but actually enhances your brain function. That product is green tea. Wait a minute, you might say. Doesn't green tea have caffeine too? Yes, it does. But green tea also contains a unique counterbalance, an amino acid called L-theanine. This amazing compound is able to cross the blood-brain barrier and directly influence your brain activity. L-theanine helps increase the presence of alpha waves in the brain. These are the very waves that dominate during meditation or deep relaxation, creating a state known as calm alertness. Furthermore, L-theanine boosts the levels of neurotransmitters we're already familiar with: GABA, serotonin, and dopamine. The result is a unique synergy. Caffeine provides energy and focus, while L-theanine eliminates the jitters and nervousness, creating the perfect state for productive and peaceful work. It is the best choice when you need to feel calm while still staying energized and alert. But let's not forget the sheer power of the ritual itself. In our frantic, always-on world, where we constantly rush through tasks, the simple act of brewing and sipping tea becomes a genuine pocket of mindfulness. It's 5 to 10 minutes dedicated solely to yourself. Selecting your favorite mug, the gentle rumble of the kettle, watching the dry leaves or flowers unfurl in the hot water, inhaling the fragrant steam. All these sensory anchors pull us out of the cycle of anxious thoughts and ground us firmly in the present moment. The warmth from the cup you hold in your hands is inherently soothing. It physically relaxes tight palms and eases tension in the chest. It is a simple, universally accessible form of meditation. Next time you feel stress creeping in, try not reaching for the refrigerator. Instead, put the kettle on. You might just find that what you truly needed wasn't food, but this exact pause, this moment of warmth and self-care that a simple cup of herbal tea can provide. All right, let's wrap things up. We've established that the urge to reach for comfort food during stress isn't just a lack of willpower. It's a complex, hormone-driven biochemical process. But the good news is, we can influence it. Instead of reaching for that next candy bar or bag of chips, try incorporating one of our 5 food allies. A few squares of quality dark chocolate can help lower cortisol levels and give you a powerful dose of magnesium. A handful of bright berries will shield your cells from oxidative stress, thanks to their vitamin C and potent antioxidants. A small serving of nuts provides your brain with essential omega-3 fats and calming zinc. A glass of natural kefir or yogurt feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, helping them produce those crucial, happy hormones. And a warm cup of aromatic herbal or green tea promotes relaxation and focus, leveraging both the power of ritual and unique amino acids. The main takeaway is this: managing stress through food is possible and necessary, but you have to do it the right way. The key isn't restriction. It's consciously replacing unhealthy habits with beneficial and enjoyable rituals. You aren't eating your feelings. You are giving your body the resources it needs to cope and recover. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. If you found this helpful, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss our future videos on health and psychology. Now, a question for you. Do you have your own go-to foods or drinks that help you manage stress? Let us know in the comments below. Let's share our experiences and learn from each other.